Hi, and welcome to Building the Container of Wealth. Now, in this video, we're going to be talking about capacity and how to hold larger sums of money and feel natural and safe while we're holding large sums of money. So, have you ever had a really good financial month where all the money came flowing in and you felt really good? You were on cloud nine and you thought this was going to last forever. And then something happened. The next month, it either dipped really low, people started canceling, you got unexpected bills, something happened that took you down and it could have been lower than the previous month. And you're thinking, wow, this is just like really bad luck. And on the surface, it might look like bad luck or bad timing. But what if it wasn't? What if it was your nervous system and your subconscious mind with those deep beliefs that you hit your ceiling, your capacity? So this invisible upper limit you currently hold right now, we're going to call this a container in this video. And it's really about breaking through that container. And a good story to help relate to this is called stencil strength. Now, steel has a really high stencil strength. And this means it measures how much stress or force the material can hold before it breaks. And paper has very little. It's really easy to rip up. Well, money works the same way. You have a currency capacity, a stencil strength around wealth. And everything that goes above that threshold, consciously or unconsciously, is, you hit that upper limit. And so, like steel, this strength is not fixed, it's developed. And so, with steel, it begins out as this raw iron, then it's heated, it's pressured, it's refined, it's pounded, and the strength is built through the process. Well, the same is true for your capacity of wealth. It's built through deliberation, repetition, and choosing to move into larger numbers and practice visioning and holding the possibility of those bigger numbers until your nervous system registers, oh, that's safe. We've done that before. And so it's about a container building. As you grow, it's not one and done. It's daily practice. It's consistently choosing to step into that expanded version of yourself, even on those days when it looks like nothing's changing. It's the same old, same old. But what's going on underneath the surface is your brain is rewiring itself and it's creating new neural pathways. And the more that you can sit with a bigger number and breathe through the discomfort, the quicker your brain rewires its response. And then the body starts feeling comfortable with it. So in the beginning, remember when you were riding your bike, you fell over a couple times and you got up and did it again. And all of a sudden you can ride your bike and you don't have to think about it. Well, that's the same thing by stretching your container. And in the beginning, it's going to feel uncomfortable, it's going to feel dangerous, and you just don't like that icky feeling. But when you stay with that energy and expand it, all of a sudden it becomes natural. So everybody has this invisible ceiling around money. And it's when we hit that comfort zone or that container, on the other side of it is all these possibilities. And that's when you hit that wall, you could say, your mind gets a little foggy, your body might tighten up, you might go into avoidance, procrastination, distractions. Let's get sidetracked doing something else. That one's my favorite. I either procrastinate or I distract myself and I forget to sit in the energy as I'm expanding. So everybody goes through this. It's just not you. And it's a stage. We'll hit a stage and we're like, oh, finally made it over that. You met that goal, you got over that threshold, and then you're all cozy in that next level. But guess what? You go up to the next level and you have to do it all over again. And a lot of times when we're hitting our ceiling, we have these conversations from childhood that pop up, the earliest beliefs that your family had around money. They're like a computer running the app in the background. The app is still running even though you forgot about it. The same with those beliefs. And so we want to pay attention what comes up as we hit that threshold, because if it comes up, it's ready to be cleared. And the ceiling isn't just about beliefs, it's also a deep embedded identity. So your subconscious mind is okay, for example, you go, oh my gosh, I made $10,000 this month. I'm so excited. And your subconscious mind is going, how much is somebody like me supposed to have? Oh, my bank account has $30,000 in it and I'm used to having 2,000. Oh dear, that's not safe, or whatever your mind says, right? Then your body starts getting all tense and you're not looking because you're in avoidance. And all this is normal because the boundary is being pushed and the old you hasn't quite stepped into the new person yet. So it's a practice. So here's a simple little thing I want you to practice doing is pick a larger number. Now, I don't know why, but in math, anytime when I was a kid, it had like 100. I could never figure out what all the zeros were. If it went 1000, where does a comma go? I mean, this was so complicated for me as a kid. So now I have to think about how much money do I want to make? How many zeros is it? And then I just practice saying the number out loud. And so, what you want to do is pick a number. I don't know why that story came up. It's kind of funny. Because as a kid, I had such a big belief that $100 was a lot of money. That's what that is. Oh, interesting. Okay, I just uncovered a belief as I'm sharing this with you. So when I was a kid, I don't know if I told this story or not, but my dad showed me $100 bill and he goes, look at this closely because you may not see many of these in your lifetime. It's really rare. And my dad has seen three of these $100 bills in his lifetime. But this was back mid 60s. Okay. So $100 was like $1,000. It was a big deal. Anyhow, I made the decision as a kid, I am going to see a lot of those. And it's funny that this talking about zeros and numbers brought up that old story. So it's not true anymore. Cancel, cancel, release, release. I am wealthy. I am successful. Reprogram your mind with what you want. Okay, back to sitting with larger numbers. So you want to choose a number that's like a little bit over your goal that you're at right now. So let's do math simple because that's where I hang out. Let's say $5,000 and you want to go over, so it would be 7,000. Or 10,000, you go over 12,000. So you're not doing it so big that it really scares you. You're just doing it a little bit out of your comfort zone. Now, what you're going to do is take that number, put it on a sticky note, place it on your bathroom mirror, or it could be a screensaver on your phone or whatever. And every time you see that in the morning is when it's really important, is you say, oh, that's the new me. I'm earning $12,000 this month. Yay! And then right after you say it, notice how you feel. Did your heart pick up? Was there any resistance? Did your body get tight? Because you're bumping up against your comfort zone of your container. And you're starting to tell your brain that you're stretching yourself. Now, research has proven that with repetition, all of a sudden the threat becomes neutral because the brain begins to notice it as familiar. So every morning, if you say, oh, I'm so excited to make $12,000 this month, all of a sudden your brain is going, oh, I'm making 12,000. Well, now it's familiar. You're feeling natural about it. Your whole nervous system has calmed down because that is your financial goal. And we're not pretending, we're not doing bypassing work, we're just stretching yourself a little bit. Now, second thing you can do is what's called an environment expansion. Now, this one is really fun because it gives you a little project that you can do with a girlfriend if you want. So you can go for a walk in the wealthy neighborhoods and then look at the houses and go, wow, I love that house. That is a house that I would like to own. Or go to a really fancy hotel and have a cup of coffee and sit in the energy. Or look at real estate listings and go, wow, I'm kind of curious. The person I'm becoming, what are their options of a house that they could buy? So you're not daydreaming for a mansion, you're daydreaming for the house that you have the possibility of owning. And of course, you can go into a high-end restaurant. I did this with my brother. We went to Danville and we went to a steakhouse. We sat in the bar and had a glass of wine and a little appetizer while all these people were around. And this was back when I was hustling, working 7 part-time jobs, and my financial mindset was really in the gutter. And I was so uncomfortable. It just made me so nervous to be in that environment. But I was stretching my comfort zone, my container. I was giving my brain new data, new reference points to say, oh, this is kind of normal. This is where I'm heading. This is where I'm hanging out. And as you're in these experiences, and if you feel a little uncomfortable, tell yourself, oh, you know what? I'm expanding my container to hold larger sums of money. And then you can always, do this if you get really scared, or just pet yourself somewhere and go, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. And have fun doing it. Get a girlfriend and go out and practice expanding. Now, because the external world always is reflecting what our internal world is, that saying, as within, as without. We are practicing having our outer world expand as our inner world expands. So, what we're doing is we are visualizing the new lifestyle we want to use. And here's a part I really like where science and spirituality kind of blend. They use different languages, but there's a saying, the universe is mental. Ernest Holmes, who I used to study under a lot, would always go, the universe is mental. It has a consciousness. It's not separate from the physical body. And the reality is the basis. The energy runs in, through, and around all of us. So matter is made from consciousness. And so this actually goes down into the physical world, your bank account, because it's a downstream from your inner world. So your financial reality, what's in your bank account, that income comes from your subconscious mind, those deep held beliefs that you repeat over and over, the state of being, the way you hold your body. Oh, just like this or like this. You've seen Tony Robbins, be sad and be happy. Your body holds a lot of energy. And so when you're expanding, you want to practice having your body up, confident, and teaching your nervous system it's safe because you're working really on cause and effect. You're changing the source code, the output. So the reality out here starts shifting and matching your new way of thinking. So let's do an expanded visualization. And you can practice doing this, 5 minutes in the morning, and it helps to build that muscle. So if you're driving, please listen to this later. Okay, so we're going to do this little visualization. So just kind of get settled in and close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. In through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And just feel yourself relaxing, being calm and centered. And let all the tension go out of your jaw. There's nothing you have to do. And just let yourself come into your body, being calm, centered, and peaceful. And bring your awareness to the center of your chest, your heart space. And just take a moment and breathe. And this is where your energetic field is most concentrated. And just tap into the energy of your heart. And I like to think about love, somebody I love, to build the energy of love. And then bring to mind your number, the next level. And let that number just easily appear in your mind's eye. Now imagine yourself on the other side of that number, the version of you who's already living it. And what does that version of you feel like? How does your body feel? How do they carry themselves? And what's the quality of their presence, their energy? Is it steadfast and confident, ease and peaceful? And just notice how you're feeling this stronger, more confident, powerful self. Because there's a knowing that you're holding this wealth energy gracefully and naturally. And you move through your day peacefully, not hurried. And you trust the flow because you've experienced it again and again. And the flow is always there. Money's flowing to you. And that version of yourself, just breathe it in and let it settle into your cells, your nervous system. And just let yourself be that person, that future self. This is the true version of who you are. It's always been available, and it's time to claim it. And we're just making it easier and easier for her to show up. All right, take one more deep breath, and it's time to come back into the room and bring your awareness back into the room. And so this week, your homework assignment, if you decide to do it, or your fun assignment, is to practice sitting in the number that you chose and just visualize being that person as you stretch your container. You could do this as a quick visualization in the morning. You can do it in the shower. Find a time when you can do it. Just practice sitting in that energy and just imagine your container getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I like to take my hands and kind of push it a little bit. And I imagine I have golden energy. I run down my, um, forgot the name of it, crown, down my crown into my body. I fill it all up with gold, and then I start pushing that gold out of my body. And I use my hands like this to push it out. So just practice having fun, expanding your container today and holding a larger number. And then go out with a girlfriend and have a good time going to a fancy restaurant or a hotel or somewhere fun that you wouldn't normally go to. Okay, see you in the community.